Welcome to Darzzr on Crater City, and today I thought we'd start broadcasting from the world's biggest cave. Look, it's so big it even goes beyond the render distance, and it's as tall as a ravine. Look at this! It goes on and on and on. There we go, there's the end. It doesn't go on forever, and I did hear that creeper trying to attack it with a pick, because I found some diamonds. No, I'm not going to throw that away. There we go. Everything's back to normal. So yes, this is what I believe to be the biggest cave we found yet on Crater City. The biggest crater in Crater City, if you knocked all the top off there. In fact, that can't be ocean up there because it would be pouring through. Where does that go? Wow. It's big. That's all you can say about it. And Cratarians who are watching this, you can see the mini-map there, the coordinates of this on the side. I found this while I was basically branch mining from my own branch mines, not anybody else's. And it's under the ocean, just to the west of Crater City, as you can see there. If I bring this up, you can see the edge of Crater City there, and a suspicious round structure above. What is that round thing up there? Well, to be honest, if you've seen Keeper Balance's videos, you will have seen what that is. I'm just getting rid of this lava. I'm also going to... I'm basically looking around for diamonds, because we've been in a bit of a poor sort of phase for diamonds lately. There was a time when you could just go down mining for about 10 minutes and you come back with an inventory full of diamonds. Well, not quite, but you know how it is. And then, well, certainly for Miguel and me, we went through this whole phase of not being able to find any. Well, today I found 12, which is not too bad. And a couple of days ago I also found a couple. It's not a big deal, it's just I don't like to feel I'm running down on diamonds at all, because, you know, it limits your... You feel like you want to limit your tool use a bit. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is get rid of this skelly, and then I will go back to Crater City. And I can see there's a creeper over there. I'll get this iron as well. I always like to have lots of iron, especially with... I don't like to leave any iron uncollected at the moment. What with Guitar Flat always looking for more for his beacons. There we go. Right, we're back to the house, and just use the magic lever. Oh, I didn't think it was going to work for a minute. I was a little bit concerned that it might not, because I've built this incinerator here. Throw unwanted items in water. Very simple, of course, it just goes down to this bit of lava down here. Have I got anything that I want to throw away? Well, there's some dirt here. We'll just test it with that. How many times can I say wheel? There we go. Just throw a few bits in there. And there it goes. You can just hear it fizz. It's mainly to get rid of the seeds. I get so many seeds from up top. I'm not going to throw away too much dirt at the moment, because I've been... a couple of occasions lately where I've had to supply large amounts of dirt to people, so... I'm slightly more organised these days than I used to be in here. It's still the case that most of the stuff I have stored is stored in the ship. But as I've got a wider variety of stuff here, so that's... I think that's probably one too many coal, but who cares? And that will do 3 of those, and then I'll put in a couple of sticks later. And some lapis. Right. So, what else? Look at these maps. If you saw Guitar Flat's latest video, and maybe a couple of others coming along, you'll have seen the pig racing. Well, that's the pig race course from above. Split between 2 maps, but you can't help that. Well, I mean, I could have done it at a lower zoom, but, you know, you want to see a full zoom. And this, of course, is the Cobra Mark III, and there is the Mamba. Those are the new maps in the item frames. Where am I going? something I wanted to show you from up top. Now, you may well remember that I created the clock tower and Stoddard Tower to prevent me having to look at the creeper face on the hospital, which was annoying me every time I came out of the farms. Well, I had to remove Stoddard Tower because it was getting in the way of Balance's view of the capital. And but I spoke to Vexy, and as a sort of a compromise, we've agreed to replace the creeper face with an H for hospital, so that's a little bit better. But Vexy also assisted me in moving Stoddard Tower, so it's no longer the site it used to be. It is now, well, you'll see. So there's a few other things I've been working on around here. First of all, clock tower. I've redone the clock face. I basically took it down, redid it because it was too flat before, and the hands stood out too much. Also, I've replaced the hands with spruce logs now rather than oak logs, and it certainly looks better from a distance now. Some various changes around here that Vexy's shown in her videos. And this, of course, is where the old tower used to be. Now just a mound, but it's a significant mound. It is Bunker Hill Historical Monument. And if we go in here, you can see that it now is the site of the founding of Crater City. In 1392, the first band of pioneers laid the foundations for what would become Crater City near the site of Bunker Hill. Here they made a shelter to fight off the marauding bands of pigmen savages sent by Charles VI of France, who was suffering from a serious bout of madness. Pilgrims were initially drawn to Crater City by its freedom from plague. And that's historical research by Darzzr, Vexy and Guitar Flat, and Bunker Hill site maintained by the Friends of Crater City. So there you go. Now, what's all this about? Well, basically, I had the idea to turn this into a historical site. Well, it is a historical site because Stoddard Tower used to be here. But I basically said to Vexy, oh, well, I'm going to put a sign up. So what date was Crater City founded? And she said, well, I suppose this server, August. I said, no. What year in historical terms would it have been? And she went, oh, I don't know, 1392. So there's 1392. And Guitar Flat was in the call at the time. And he was saying, well, you know, what happened in 1392? So he looked it up in Wikipedia, and he came up with a couple of things. But in the meantime, Vexy said, well, plague, must have been plague. So that's the plague reference. In the meantime, Guitar Flat discovered that, according to Wikipedia, Charles VI of France had a particularly bad bout of madness in that year, apparently. So there you go, that's the story. That's how Crater City was founded. It's official. In 1392. 1392, who'd have thought it? In some ways, you'd think it'd be more built up by now, wouldn't you? But in actual fact, of course, we are building it pretty quickly. This is another new thing. The bridge was here before, but I've put these new cobble fences down the side. And this was the old... Vexy always calls this a ravine. I think it was just a cave system that was open to the surface, but never mind. We basically filled this in to stop the villagers keep going down there, because I basically followed one that was going down there. Vexy was wondering where they were all going, and I basically followed one down. So we knew that they were going down there. So it's been blocked off, turned into a lake, and while Vexy was in there, it suddenly struck me the old Arthurian story of the lady in the lake, so I thought we'll call it Lake Avalon, and this therefore is Avalon Bridge. So that's that. There's a lot of... Vexy has taken to just putting signs up saying Vexy's plot or CQ's plot, Darzzr, don't build a tower here. She can't spell my name, look. D-A-R-Z-R-R. It's Z-Z-R, we know that. But I've just been basically staking my claim. So where then is Stoddard Tower? Well, look, there it is, by the spawn garden. And we took all the materials with us. Funny enough, we seem to have less materials afterwards than we did when we started, but, you know, one of those strange things. There's an Enderman there, I won't look at him. But it's basically exactly the same as it was before. And complete with all of the interior. Oh, I'm starving. And this, of course, is the thing that you could see on the minimap. You can see it just approaching now. Yeah, there's that Skelly. This whole area still isn't lit up well enough because we've only recently started building out here. Balance has got lots of plans that he wants to do out here, and I'm sure there'll be other things too. But this is the first actual structure aside from the spawn garden. So this is very much like in my last video, where we had the 2 towers, and I heard a cat. Is it Vexy's cat up here? You see, Vexy's cat's still up here. What are we going to do with you? Now, Vexy actually quite likes the look of these towers. It's of course a Fallaron design, as we've mentioned before. And there are now 3 of them in Crater City. She has said she'd like to have some more of these. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of editing there because I suddenly realised that I was going past something that was under construction, and that wouldn't have been cricket, as they say. So my red sheep are still there. That's nice. We now have this wall. I have to plan where I'm going to walk a little bit more now. We agreed that my house is not part of the village, but in actual fact, the clock tower is, and I'm fine with that. You know, this is the thing. I've tidied up this room down here a little bit now, and I might do some more work on the interior of this, because it feels like there could be something in here. Obviously, an obvious thing to do is to put some sort of workings in here, and I talked to Miguel about should we put in pistons or block changes to try and actually move the hands to some degree, but you know, there's just not enough room, and it's more work than it's worth, so the hands will remain static. Even so, I wondered about putting in some sort of cog design or something in here, but again, it's really difficult to do that with Minecraft blocks. But if I think of a good way of doing it, and if you think of a good way of doing cogs, you know, by all means put it in the comments. I am door challenged. Look at that, a couple of squids have died. I told you it happens. The actually in Sortex, the ink sacs look a bit weird. They look like they've got a bone sticking out of them. Look at those maps there. There's something actually, a little bug that I've noticed. Look at that. Look at the bottom there. Just as the map itself goes out of range, the sign flashes. That's really distracting. And also, you do get a bit of Z fighting between the map and the item frame. But anyway, that's a little bug. Who'd have thought it a bug in Minecraft? But in the meantime, I've got to break some bad news to you. There's been some vandalism on the server. It's been quite distressing because it's happened in the cemetery. Now, it's nothing to do with George's grave or the dog's grave. Unfortunately, this is the memorial to all the mushrooms that have been killed at the hands of CQ the Destroyer. She has to date butchered 3 of them, and every so often she even comes to their gravesite and vandalises their grave. She tries to put up signs saying that they deserved it or that she was innocent, but we know the truth. And today I've had to put this sign up to replace the ones that she's been putting up, and I just want to assure CQ that I will continue to keep an eye on that. Now I'm going to go down to the post office to see if I've got any post. Now, if you've been watching Fallaron and Pachein's videos lately, you'll know that they've been playing a lot of Black Ops 2. And I listened in one day and I took some recordings of the sounds that they made, and I made this piece of music out of it. It's called Oops. Oh, I've got a stone sword in the post. How about that?
Killed someone.
What is this? This is disturbing. It seems to move in its own way. Whoa!
Oh my god, why is my knife not
Now I'm stuck. Well, while I try to find my own way out of this predicament, I will have to say that's the end of the episode. Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And assuming that I've managed to get out of here, I will see you again next time.
Why can you shoot through the wall?
Well,